Welcome to the New to Wrestling podcast, where I, your host, Xavier Cruz, a lifelong wrestling fan, will take a lifelong friend through the action, the joys, and the drama of the world of professional wrestling. My co-host, Kelsey Silva, has been bitten by the wrestling bug, and I want to invite you to join us as I take her through the moments that made me a fan. So if you're new to wrestling and would like to get brought up to speed, or a fan who would like to relive some classic matches, promos, and segments through fresh eyes, join us as we embark on a journey through the Attitude Era and beyond. Welcome to the New to Wrestling podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. This week, we watched the December 30th, 1996 edition of Monday Night Raw, and the match card is as follows. We had Farouk teaming up with Stone Cold Steve Austin, taking on Double J Jesse James and Savio Vega. We had Flash Funk taking on the Intercontinental Champion Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and in our main event, we had Jerry the King Lawler versus Goldust. All right, this one.
Yeah. Wait, before we start, can we talk about
Yes.
your amazing solo episode you did without me last week?
Oh my God.
I just want to give you so many props because it was so good. I was dying from bubonic plague and Xavier
The flu.
being
Everybody, the flu.
well, which is basically bubonic plague if you've ever had flu. But Xavier was such a genius and stepped in to do a solo episode so that you guys would not go a week without having content. And like it, if you haven't listened to it yet, please do. It's so good. It's like charming and endearing and just like delightful to listen to. And like, so even though I didn't know some of the wrestlers you were talking about because Xavier goes through some of his favorite Royal Rumble matches, it was just so like a good, easy listen, but you're like so engaged and it was just great commentary and I loved it so much. So like props, mad props, such a good episode. And there's bloopers at the end also.
Oh yes, I've been saving those for a minute.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're good.
So now we're gonna have to start a whole new set of blooper reels.
It'll be so easy.
So easy.
So fast.
There's no shortage of mistakes and stupidity
Heinousness,
on our end. Yeah.
Thank God. But yeah, mad props. Absolutely loved it. If you haven't listened to it, please do.
Oh, well, thanks. But thanks. It was easy just in the regard that I love the Royal Rumble so much.
Yeah.
That
you can feel it when you listen to it.
I love the Royal Rumble.
I know,
and it's so great that like where we are in the show is also barreling towards the Royal Rumble, but also in real life we are barreling towards the Royal Rumble because it's every January.
It's crazy. It's crazy how it lined up.
It is crazy how it lined up. Not planned. I couldn't have planned any of that if I wanted to.
Yeah, I'd love to lie and say that was orchestrated. It was not. So.
It was not. No.
But you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Just all of the stars aligned.
Amen.
So let's get into this one because this one was wild. This one was chaotic. This one had everyone coming out of the woodworks.
It was so insane. I gasped so many times my ears popped. Like it was really crazy.
So the episode opens up with a kind of promo situation of the face-to-face that we will be having during this episode between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. As we know, there is no shortage of beef between the two, between Shawn Michaels taking the title from Bret Hart at the previous WrestleMania to Bret Hart then leaving for like 6 months, just completely just going off the grid. And then Shawn Michaels more recently interfering in Bret Hart's title match, which ended up costing him the title.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just been no shortage of drama, beef, disparaging words.
Yeah.
So, it made sense that that's kind of where we're headed.
Yeah, I mean, like years in the making at this point, or a year in the making.
Yeah,
but it feels like an ancient family feud at this point, like like very like Romeo and Juliet or something, like where the families hate each other. We don't even remember why, but like we do not mess with them. It like feels that ancient.
But like I feel like this feud in particular is like one of the Mount Rushmore of like feuds as far as like the WWF goes.
Oh
Like
wow.
it
I
is
mean, it
just
feels like it. It
and
feels
it's
crazy.
and it's not even close to being done.
That's
We
what
have
I cannot
no,
continue to wrap my head around.
yes.
I don't know how it gets crazier. I literally like I think I'm gonna have to start taking medication. Like I literally
We are, yeah, it's going to get so much wilder. And when I tell you, when we get towards the end of 1997, kind of where we are, just flash forward a year, we are going to have to dissect what happened between the two of them to like the umpteenth degree. And people have been dissecting what's been going on between the two of them since all of this went down.
wow.
So big T.
Big T. Love it.
So let's get into our opening match, which was a surprise in and of itself because we found out that Farouk would be teaming with Stone Cold Steve Austin, which was like who,
Out of the
where,
blue.
out of the
Left
blue.
field.
And then, but before this happens, while they're kind of introducing Stone Cold, they show a clip of him attacking like some other tag team, which is supposed to make this tag team match like
Makes sense.
relevant or something.
It didn't.
And it was Doug Furness and Philip LaFawn. You can tell by their little matching blue tights.
I missed it. I could not
yeah.
tell. I was like, man, those poor two guys. That's a bummer. And because there were so many people around them, and it was like in the locker room. It's crowded. It's dark. Like it. I just was like, man, that sucks for those guys. And then randomly, we're watching the episode, and Xavier's like, wait, it's Philip. What's his last name? It's like LaFawn. Why? Like because I was like, why are you asking me? He's not in this match. And Xavier's like, that's who got his knees broke. Or his ankles broke, a la Brian Pillman style. Right. And I was like, what? I had no idea. I missed the whole thing. I was like, why are you asking me?
So yeah, apparently Stone Cold's back on his BS. They must have heard us complaining about the lack of Stone Cold.
Swear to God, he was
they gave it to us immediately in the first match, and then immediately some of his hijinks before he made it to the ring.
Swear to God. And like I'm fine with it. Like I'm upset about Doug Furness and Philip LaFawn, who literally just got here and have no beef with anybody, and like suddenly like at death's door, broken ankles. But like I'm also so happy to see Stone Cold again. Like I can't be upset.
No, I'm not mad. It's fine. So
they'll be fine.
That team will be taking on the also unlikely duo of Double J, Jesse James, and Savio Vega. Of course, Jesse James comes out and serenades us with a rendition of "Alone with My Baby Tonight." Kelsey did mention that this was the best that he's ever sounded, so I guess all these reps are working in his favor.
I take it away, but I will give it that in like here and there. I was just like, you know what? All this exercise that they make him do over and over again while he's singing, it's starting to pay off. He's getting those lungs, you know?
Right.
Oh, he's getting the Beyonce lungs.
That capacity, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like on the treadmill, like cuts to like Jesse J and Jesse James on the treadmill in like stilettos, just like absolutely
doing the rope thing in like full costume and a corset,
as if he's like Olympic training for this.
Swear to God, I can't wait to be alone. Like nailing it. I mean, there wasn't a quaver, a breathiness. He was nailing it. I'm sorry.
It was a solid performance, but somebody that was not impressed was Stone Cold Steve Austin, who clearly did not want to hear any of it.
He was like, cut the mic.
As Jesse James is making his way down the aisle, Stone Cold's just like, absolutely not, and just comes out and he's like, I will not stand for his no. So he just comes in and just starts attacking Jesse James before we even find out who his tag team partner is. It hasn't even been announced yet.
We're like, who's fighting? And also it was great because the music kept playing and you just hear the chorus going in the background going, ooh, ooh. Like, but there's no
as he's getting just walloped, like, of course. And so we're like,
not lip syncing though.
You know,
let's
better than most can say.
I'm saying, but
so we were like confused. We were wondering like, who's his partner? And of course, Savio Vega comes out, and we were like, we should have known. We should have known that it was
Savio with the hands.
Strike first, ask questions later. Vega like was gonna come and just start. He comes to the aid of Jesse James on the on the entryway, and just like just chaos
Immediately.
ensues immediately. So just
Immediately.
absolute chaos. So this match is, it's pretty chill. It's great. It's very back and forth. Savio's going absolutely nuts with those spinning heel kicks.
Oh my God.
He was like, every time he brought it out, it was A1.
Leg of steel. Xavier said the funniest thing while we were watching, and he's like, they didn't even need the guillotine during the French Revolution. Like, just have Savio Vega knocking people's heads off one by one with that freaking leg.
Just
The
like,
Rockettes better give him a call. Put a blade on the end of that leg.
We could have just been standing in the crowd with like wicker baskets, just like trying to catch skulls. Like, that's how impressive these kicks were
and on
in this
point,
match.
on
Every
target,
time.
quick, like just effective. I mean, he was crazy. He's crazy with that leg. I can't.
After the first spin kick to Farouk, and what apparently is a reoccurring theme, Farouk does this weird like leg twitch thing so he's like laying on the ground, and then all of a sudden his one leg, as if he's just got like phantom limb or something. Like, I don't know what this is.
It was like someone scratching a dog and you hit the spot and the leg starts going.
You
like,
absolutely
and he
hit
did
the
that
spot
one time, and we were like, that was weird. And then it kept happening.
Right.
And we're like, oh, don't let this be the move. Don't let that be the sell.
It's just yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Is that how you're selling? Like, is that how? Because like clearly it is, because like it's a reoccurring thing.
But it just is so like his whole just one leg is just like
no, literally, like
don't let that be the one, Farouk.
No,
Nation of Domination, you're the twitchy leg guy. That's not, we can't do that.
That's not domination.
That's not the one. It can't be that.
So Bret Hart comes down the entryway after Jesse James gets thrown over the top rope by Stone Cold Steve Austin, apparently injuring himself. So I initially thought that Bret was just coming down to just like return the favor.
I thought Stone Cold took his knee out, and that's why Bret Hart came out. Like, he hit him with took the knee out, like the thing he's been doing.
Yeah, well, he threw him over the top rope, and he landed funny on his knee. He never made it back in the ring.
No, I mean, I thought that Stone Cold then came around and took him out at the knee with the shoulder like he's been doing.
Oh, if he did, I missed it.
Like, oh, okay. I'm pretty sure that's what he did. No. Either way, his knees busted.
His knees exploded.
So,
Bret Hart apparently comes down to the ring and is propositioning himself to the referees to like be the sub in this match, which is like
random, weird.
Like, since when are we just like subbing in and out? Like,
made no sense, because they showed him watching the match at the beginning, and I was like, why? Like, I know he's got beef with Stone Cold, and I get that, but like, he is not coming out. He doesn't even have a match. He just has like a little interview later, big interview later. But like, it didn't make sense for me that he was even watching. And then when he came out to like check on Double J, who's got like a blown knee, I was like, are you guys like friends? Like, I literally don't get it. Are you just like a member of like the Victims of Stone Cold Association, and you're like welcoming in your new member? Like, what is this? Like, but then suddenly he's like, I'll wrestle. I'll sub in.
So him on his he just like takes off his shirt. So he's just in like the lightest wash jeans and some boots, and just throws his ass on the apron. And let me tell you, the first time it cut to him after he was like joined in the match, Kelsey audibly gasped.
Me, both of us. It's crazy. We together.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay? I'm sorry.
The only reason we didn't think you was because mine was just loud. But I'm just like, drowned you out. But like, we were both like, whoa, excuse me, what? Because I was like, what's he gonna do? Wrestle in jeans? And I was like, you can wrestle in jeans, baby. You can do whatever you want in those jeans. Who made those jeans? What's going on, jeans with the boots? Wow.
So for a minute, we think like Bret Hart's never gonna get in this match, because like Savio Vega is just getting his ass handed to him, be it by Stone Cold and Farouk. They're tagging in and out, they're just chilling. So we're just sitting there just like, so did he just like sub into this for nothing? Like, is he even gonna make it in? And of course, he gives us gives the people what they want. So he
Thank
does get
God.
tagged in, and all of a sudden Crush from the Nation of Domination comes in and just starts attacking him from behind. And then of course Stone Cold cannot waste the opportunity to jump in and also do more damage. So he starts attacking him, and then all of the rest of the surrounding members of the Nation jump into the ring and start attacking Bret Hart on the ground. Like, this man is just being pummeled.
Yeah.
And that's going on for a minute.
A minute.
When all of a sudden you hear the crowd start going, like, something's happening. The crowd gets a little excited, and we're like, okay, who's coming? And it's Ahmed Johnson in the world's tightest pair of tights and a 2x4. This man's thang was thanging in
oh my god, in the like Willy Wonka twisty blue, like blue silver something Peter Pan tights. I have no idea what, and a blue windbreaker. It was so confusing, but I love to see it. The blue, and there's a 2x4. It was like, how many more people are coming out here? I'm so confused.
Ahmed Johnson clears the ring, and he's essentially just like, we don't gotta wait for the Royal Rumble. We can do this right now, Punk. Like, we don't have to do this. Yeah, like, he was like, and then he starts another "You're Going Down" chant,
which I love, and he used the 2x4 as like a conducting wand to direct the energy.
Drum major Ahmed Johnson.
Okay. Which also only Ahmed Johnson could conduct with a 2x4. Like, they're big and heavy, and he was just holding it in one hand. He was like, "You're going down."
No, fully. Just like, I was like, okay. Nice wand work, sir.
Swear to God, the tights. I can't. The tights are literally so crazy.
I couldn't.
Every 3 seconds we were like, whoa. I'm like, whoa.
Because it was like borderline obscene. Like, there was leaving nothing to the imagination.
There is only before the tights and after I've seen the tights. There is nothing there. That's how I define my life at this point. Like, it's just before tights, after tights.
Oh God, no.
Crazy.
No. So
no.
It took me by such surprise. I was just not expecting. I was thinking like it was just gonna be like another little tracksuit.
Oh yeah. No, we're not overselling it. This isn't too much discussion for what occurred. This is
no.
dissection.
I don't want anybody coming for me that we spent 5 minutes on tights. You go watch this episode, December 30th, 1996.
And come back.
If you're on Peacock, it is season 4, episode 51. Go look at these tights and tell me that we have spent an inappropriate amount of time on these tights. This man's everything was out.
The only thing inappropriate was the amount of time they spent on television, on live television. Okay, I rest my case and I will sleep peacefully tonight. Thank you.
100%. So our next match is Flash Funk taking on Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Flash Funk's entrance is entirely too long. I can't do it anymore. I'm going to start fast forwarding. I can't
do it. I'm so sorry. I love the routine. I love the choreography. They're gorgeous. Like, it's great. I just maybe chop 2 minutes off of it. Two whole minutes.
Please. Because it wasn't even like it was just like to make time for that like weird backstage segment thing they had with Hunter Hearst Helmsley, where he was essentially just like, I'm not impressed. And then they asked him about Goldust, and he was once again had to reiterate that he was going to show Marlena what a real man was like.
Gross.
Because I don't know, because that's just where we are. This is what we're stuck on as far as the storyline is.
It's really crazy. Flash
Funk gets into the ring, and we assume that Hunter Hearst Helmsley is going to be next, being that he's his opponent. But no, we are once again graced with Goldust's music, and Goldust and Marlena find themselves some little ringside seats. Once again, they got the golden spotlight. They have their own little security guard just chilling, and they're gonna watch this little shindig go down.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Flash Funk looks like the little 2-packs of Starburst, and you open it, it's a red and a yellow one. 100%. That's exactly what he looked like.
Like that
shiny red yellow.
If those 2 Starbursts banged Hermes from like Greek mythology.
Yes.
Like,
Okay. Yeah. Big
because
T.
there's something about the winged boots that just like I can't get
Yes.
over, that I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, like what's the message from Zeus? Like what's
What is
up?
it? Tell me. What is it?
Like,
Are they fighting again? I knew it.
uh,
Always fighting. But yeah.
100%. And then of course, Jerry the King Lawler had to put his foot in his mouth when Goldust was introduced. He once again had to reiterate the whole real man thing in regards to Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Marlena. But then he also made a reference to Hillary Clinton writing the like child raising book, like It Takes a Village, and then comparing it to Goldust, saying that he should write one saying that it takes the village people. Just some blatant homophobia from Jerry.
You know,
Just
it's just like the blatant in this match, like the feud between like Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Goldust, and now like Jerry the King defending Hunter Hearst Helmsley is like just like I was sitting there and I was like, I understand why we don't have a women's division right now.
right.
I'm there.
It
I
makes
get it.
all of the sense
Because
in the
the
world when you think of
rampant
what this is. Like,
rampant sexism and homophobia is just crazy. Because they're like, Hunter Helmsley's like, yeah, I'm gonna beat Goldust, and then Marlena is gonna be with me and understand what a real man is. Like, she is a brood mare, and like,
I'm
like,
so sorry.
like,
That was so funny. Oh no, but
like,
actually though, but
and then she's just gonna be like, well, you're my owner now. Like, I was like, what do you mean? Like,
look,
first of
what
all,
do you
they're married. They are
right,
married, husband and wife. Like, what
right.
do you mean? Like,
No, like literally, like she's just gonna like her husband's gonna lose the match, and she's just gonna go, ah, yes, you are
a
the man
real
I've been
man.
looking
Yeah.
for, the suitor that I've been waiting for. Like, what?
Swear to God. It's so, and they're just like, yeah, that's obviously gonna happen. And it's like, has anyone even asked Marlena? I'm just
No, of course not.
wondering.
Obviously,
No.
no. You thought
And
that she was going to be given like a voice in this?
swear, that's what I'm saying. I literally was like, I get it. I get why women are not wrestling right now. I just feel
Literally,
the vibes.
literally.
Meanwhile, Goldust and Marlena are snuggled up there looking cute. I literally
Cute
now
AF.
like
They look
I'm
like a Christmas
rooting for
card.
them so hard now. I'm like,
Right.
they are hashtag Marlena and Goldust for life.
No,
Like,
literally.
can't. So crazy.
And of course, Jerry the King Lawler like just felt the urge to grab the live mic, not just
Bro.
remove himself from commentary, grab a live mic and just start yelling at Goldust for being distracting, as if him yelling around ringside with a live mic is any less distracting.
Oh
So
my God.
chaos, although it did allow us to get a peep of a I'm gonna say sign of the week, which is the Goldust is God sign.
Yes, this woman, I love her so much. Goldust has got just the big chunky gold glitter, and she stood in the aisle, like the walkway, like where she came down from wherever she was sitting and was like,
She's
this
like,
is my moment. And came
100,
down.
and she took it, she grasped it.
And I love that for her, because some people, like, it's crazy, just have signs that say like raw. And it's like, babe, we know. That's the show we're here
also
for. We get it. Like, but some of the signs are so funny, but that one was just great. Goldust is God in like the big gold glitter, and she knew it. And I just love someone who seizes their second, and they were just like, love it. Go off, queen. Thinking of you.
So while Jerry is being an absolute distraction, he gets the referee kind of involved in his shenanigans, basically just trying to get him to shut up. So while that's happening, Triple H grabs the Intercontinental Championship and rocks Flash Funk with it. Just absolutely decks him.
Which, by the way, Flash Funk was doing so well, obviously, which is the way it goes. Like, he was just pulling, he is so athletic, pulling out moves, like jumping here, there, around the square, backflips. He's doing crazy, like what is it? Like a not a turnover, like a
what? Like reversals?
Reversal. Okay. Turnover. Like, why watch sports? Like doing crazy reversals into like somersault backflips with both bodies. Like, I don't even understand how he does what he does.
Oh, he's just a ridiculous athlete, like just an
Yeah.
absolute monster of an athlete. But I think it was like I think this was like a longer match for that purpose because now it kind
Okay.
of puts Flash Funk like out of those like kind of like introduction matches where we're like, oh, like who is this guy? And now
Right.
kind of puts him in that same kind of mold with like Goldust, Mark Miro, uh
Mm.
Hunter, you know what I mean? It kind of puts him out into
Yeah.
that like mid card level instead of
Which
just
is
kind of being
great.
like a who are you? Like
Yeah, like
so
he's not just a jobber.
right. So
Because
now
when he
he
first came out, I was like, okay. And then I
what
was
is
like,
this?
okay.
Um so we think that's going to be like the end of it, but it's just chaos. So Goldust comes down from the like seat that he was sitting in to attack Jerry the King Lawler. So as Goldust is like chasing Jerry the King Lawler like up the ramp, Triple H is coming up behind Goldust, but then Flash Funk comes and grabs Triple H and drags him back into the ring and then
Love to see
performs
it.
like another moonsault on him just for the sake of being like, you may have won the match, but like, I got you, bitch. And
I
like,
got the last word.
right, the last haha. And which then like it's chaos. It's just absolute chaos. So all of these participants are there's going to be obviously more to it because we have Jerry and Goldust in our main event, so we
Right.
know they're not done. It's just all of this is just getting chaotic
It's
because now it's
getting
not just
messy,
like the main
girl.
event picture that's getting chaotic. It is now like the mid card picture that is getting chaotic. Like it
I
is just the
know.
wild west out
The
here.
Royal Rumble is going to be so insane. Everybody hates each other. Like
Everybody
everyone
hates each
hates
other.
each other. Like it's so crazy.
Speaking of everybody hating each other, our next segment is the
Oh my god.
interview between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
So we've alluded to kind of what's been going on between the two of them at the top of the episode, so I don't think we need to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
But it starts with JR introducing the two, and he makes mention of the fact that Bret the Hitman Hart will be taking on Vader next week, where Shawn kind of makes like a little quippy little comment being like, I will be there on the announced team, but I would never interfere. And then just being a little petty, and then JR asks him to go first, and which he really opens like Petty's Pandora's box and just like like
Oh my god.
absolutely just puts on his best brat. He just is like
Bratty.
he just is like, me, I would never dream of
What?
going first. Not when I'm standing in the ring with the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. No, this is Bret Hart. Like, I would never
Honey.
think about it. So
Yeah.
please. And I'm just like,
He got down on
whoa.
his knees. I was like, please. Oh my, I would never. Oh my God. Don't you know who that is, sweetie? It's Bret Hart. Like, it was
Right.
so,
It was so funny.
so
So
funny.
funny.
Which also, I think he opened the interview like before he went out. He was like, they were trying to like get his like tone of like Vince was like, right after the commercial, we're gonna come back to the Shawn Michaels like whatever
Oh, yeah.
interview. And he goes, here's Shawn Michaels. Shawn, can you hear us? He goes, yeah, I can hear you, buzzkill.
Well, yeah, oh, so funny. He's like, what? Like, I love it.
Like crazy. So he's just extra bratty.
I love it. So, thus, that gives Bret Hart the opportunity to speak, and he goes like, "All of this is exactly my problem with you." He's
Character
like, "You."
assassination.
He's like, "You clearly have no respect." And he's like, "You clearly haven't learned anything from Jose Lothario because when he interfered with your like title match." He immediately apologized. When you interfered in my title match, there was no apology. There was no nothing. Like, blah blah blah. So
Which is gutting.
right,
Like he low key, in my opinion, this was like really a read. Like he really, this was well done.
um,
Read him
and
to the ground.
and then he goes and like basically just calls him out for like not being like the role model that he promised Bret Hart that he would be after winning the title. He said, "You didn't even come close to what I did as champion. Like, you didn't even come close." And
Girl.
then he makes a comment about Shawn posing for Playgirl, which I don't think landed as well as he wanted it to,
No, it was so
mostly
funny.
because as soon as he made mention of it, he like all of the women
Every
just started
woman
screaming, two of which in
screaming
the audience had physical copies of it with them. He
in the
made
front
some
row.
point
Yeah.
to be like, I don't even think like girls actually like read that, and literally you hear them go, yes we do,
And they're
and it's
literally
just like
holding it
holding
like
it up.
this. And I like, because yeah, he mentions Playboy, the girls are shrieking. He goes, I don't even think women read that. And I was like, they're
Literally,
right
case in
there,
point, right there.
right there. All the women were like, ooh, you lost me.
Right.
Oh,
And
you
then,
had me.
yeah, and you lost me. And then he goes on to say that Shawn Michaels is a disgrace. He's degraded the belt. And we think we're finally gonna get like a response from Shawn. He like starts to speak. He's basically been like, as far as the role model thing goes, like, I've seen you on the road, so you're no role model, so let's not go there. So he was just like, oh,
What's the
okay.
tea?
So we think he's like just absolutely just like, apparently the tea is piping and he's got it.
Mm-hmm.
So we then get Psycho Sid coming down, and he interjects himself into this chaos. And honestly, what he said made sense. As
On
far
true, big T.
I
You're
will
so
say,
right.
he said, I've danced with you, I've danced with you, and I've beat you both, and you're both talking about my title like I'm an afterthought,
I swear to God.
essentially. And that's a that is a 6'9" afterthought. Like, that is,
Swear to God, y'all are so. It really is. When he came out, I was like, "What's he doing here?" And then he said that, and I was like, "You know what?
you know
He
what?
has a point.
He
I'm
fully
not
has a
gonna
point,
lie."
because
Yeah,
they're so absorbed in each other that they're looking over the fact that they need to get the title first.
honey, girl,
Which, I mean, I get
and
it.
they
Like, they
both have
really don't
failed
like it.
getting it back.
Right.
Both of them, and they're claiming it's each other's faults or whatever. But like, either way, Psycho Sid is still the championship
Right.
or the champion.
And
So
he goes on to be like, oh, I want some real competition. And then the Undertaker's gong hits,
girl,
which
the
was,
way
we were
I
not
screamed,
expecting.
the
We
way I screamed, the light, all the lights go out. I was like, no way, no way, this is crazy. It was
It was phenomenal.
unreal.
One, because like I wasn't expecting the Undertaker to be involved in this whatsoever.
No,
Was not a thought. But he comes out and he gets all up in like Psycho Sid's face. Like, they're just like, oh, hold on, mind you, back up. So he starts like entering the entranceway, and Vader starts coming in behind him, which is also absolutely random and crazy.
crazy.
Undertaker like quickly like disposes of Vader like for a second, gets in Psycho Sid's face, and so they're like they're exchanging words. Psycho Sid is shouting in the Undertaker's face, and the Undertaker is not breaking whatsoever
Love that about
until
him,
Vader comes and attacks the Undertaker from behind. And then it is just chaos,
girl.
because as those three are dealing with each other on the outside, it looks like Bret Hart is about to exit the ring, and as he's straddled over the ring, Shawn comes over and grabs the middle rope,
No,
yanks it up
no,
into Bret, and then does a plancha over Bret's like dying body
dead body,
onto Psycho Sid, and it's
girl.
just absolute chaos.
Then they are literally, and Psycho Sid and Shawn Michaels are fighting like hair pulling, like nasty girl fight. Like, it was crazy. It was like so unhinged. And the way Undertaker was tossing referees and officials aside like they were flies. Literally just like, move, I'm busy trying to get to Vader.
Oh, it
It
was so good.
was thrilling, to say
Oh,
the
it was
least.
amazing. Like, he looked
Thrilling.
absolutely like unfazed, just like
Whew.
just like flies on like a horse or something. Like just
Swear
could not
a
even be
Clydesdale.
bothered. Like could not even be bothered.
I know, I love him so. He was just like, I'm just at work, like move.
And then it just like cuts to a commercial, and we're like, what?
What,
And then we had another match after
girl?
this.
I thought the episode was just gonna end because I was like, because there was screaming, shouting. What's his name? Pat Patterson got involved in
Oh my
the
God.
ugliest sweater we've ever seen in our
Yo,
lives.
100%. That literally he was the last person on the screen, which is why I made mention of it while we were watching it. But I love Pat Patterson. I will preface this. I mentioned him in the last episode about the Royal Rumble. I love Pat Patterson.
Love
He's
him.
like amazing.
Nothing but love and respect.
No,
but the sweater.
But the sweater. What? But the sweater. Oh,
but the sweater.
That was brutal.
Pretty bad.
The fact that nobody stopped him before going out onto television like that is mean.
You have no friends, Pat. No friends in the game, Pat. No friends in the industry.
So I'm just gonna leave that at that. Y'all did Pat dirty.
That's what I'm saying. I would have never done that to you, Pat. Know that.
Okay, so when we get back from commercial break after being assaulted by Pat Patterson's sweater, it cuts to the announce table, and it's the Honky Tonk Man and Hunter Hearst Helmsley joining Vince McMahon for what is the weirdest episode of Mystery Science Theater you've ever seen.
Like, this episode, it was so out of left field, so random. My heart was racing the whole time. I'm sweating. I'm still not over it. And then they end it with Honky Tonk Man, who now has my props. I'm sorry, Honky Tonk Man. And Triple H
apologizing to the Honky Tonk Man.
I will forever. And Vince McMahon just on commentary for a match of Jerry the King Lawler and Goldust.
Absolute.
Like,
what
is happening?
I mean, I get it. Like, it's all about the Intercontinental title and all of the parties involved, but still weird.
Very odd. Weird things.
We kind of like cut to like the match in progress. Jerry is very much all over Goldust in this match. He's like really just like putting the boots to Goldust all over him, not letting him breathe, hitting him really hard. Like really hard. There's one point where Goldust does get the upper hand, and he brings Jerry over to Marlena, where she blows smoke in his face, which is just my favorite. I love it so much.
I love when she does it. It's just, you do your little thing, baby.
And of course, not even like 5 minutes into the match, Triple H decides he's had enough and starts walking over to Marlena. He grabs the cigar out of her hand and like throws it on the ground, and then picks her up, just straight up kidnapping this bitch.
Sack of potato style, over the shoulder. So disrespectful.
Just so disrespectful. And also just like, what was next?
What is the plan after this? They never have a plan after this. And that is what is so crazy. You are right. What we're gonna do?
What's next? Like actual kidnapping?
I was gonna say
assault. Like what
assault
is
and
this?
kidnapping? What is happening?
That's the hill you want to die on?
Swear to God. And I'll say this for Marlena. She is fighting for her life. She's kicking and screaming and beating him. She's
playing that damsel in distress like to a T.
Love her.
He starts bringing her up the entryway, only to find his way blocked by Mark Miro, who has sour grapes about not winning the Intercontinental Championship, and just generally with Hunter Hearst Helmsley as a whole. So he starts getting in the way, and then apparently Triple H then tosses Marlena into Mark Miro's arms while Goldust is running up behind him, and then ducks out of the way at the last minute, which makes Goldust barrel into Marlena and Mark Miro. Chaos.
In just the worst train accident
onto the ground. Mind you, she hit her Marlena. Kudos. She sold like $1 million. She hit her mark perfectly. She was center stage of that aisle. The gold spotlight was exactly where she was, and she was just there, like, just withering, just absolutely. Every time the camera cut to her, she looked like you could just have transported her onto a fainting couch, and it would have been
A
perfect.
chaise, yeah, like
Just
a beautiful fainting chaise lounge made
yeah,
of
yeah,
velvet,
just
and like, oh,
absolutely. She
and
just
someone's fanning
oh,
her with like an old
oh,
timey
oh,
fan, just like, oh
absolutely.
my god, like,
So
oh,
the match ends with that, just chaos ensuing, and just Marlena just looking just
withering.
absolutely devastating, just on the ground. And it was
She
amazing. She killed it. She
killed it.
absolutely killed it.
She deserves an Academy Award for that. Like, I was like, I am worried about her. Like that
Right.
beautiful and withering damsel on the floor, who has just been the plaything between these two rapscallions. I just won't stand for it. I just
Yo,
won't stand for it. Like,
absolutely.
and then like Goldust is like grievously hit by Triple H or something. So then he's like dead on the floor somewhere else. And then like Mark Mirror goes to pick up Marlena, and Triple H knocks him asunder. So then it just literally just ends on Marlena's beautiful deteriorating face. I feel like it should have ended with her like being enclosed in like a flower. Like that's
No,
how delicate and
actually,
sad she
yes.
looked.
Just and then we find out she's the Rose from Beauty and the Beast.
Swear to God, the lore, I can't in that gold dress. Oh,
and that's how they leave us, with just chaos. So this episode was essentially just chaos from jump to end. She
yeah.
really said, we had a match with Jesse James. No, we don't. It's with Bret Hart. We
Oh,
have an interview between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. No, we
no,
don't.
we
We
don't.
have one between Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Psycho Sid, The Undertaker, and Vader. We have an intercontinental and mental like title picture. No, we don't. It has 8 participants.
I
Like,
swear
what
to
is
God.
going
I
on, guys?
swear. It
It's
was
chaos.
so crazy. So crazy. I don't even know what was the craziest part. Like, uh, Bret Hart with no shirt wrestling in jeans, the tights, like Marlena, like
Where do we even begin? Where do we
where to
even begin?
begin?
Um,
I'll never know. I'll
uh,
never know.
guys,
I'll never
we are
recover from
on
this.
the road to the Royal Rumble, which kicks off the road to WrestleMania. So, listen, exciting things are coming. Clearly, we are entering a shitstorm because there is so much happening and so many people involved that the pieces have to fall somewhere.
I'm
The
saying the
pieces have to
shrapnel,
fall somewhere. So,
the bodies. I just
they're going to hit the floor. As always, we appreciate you listening, watching, commenting, liking, sharing with us. I want to know, I want to hear about some like Royal Rumble 1996 predictions or
yeah.
1997 predictions.
Yeah.
I know, so I'm not going to talk. Um,
Okay.
but who do you think? We know like The Undertaker is going to be in it, Stone Cold's going to be in it, Bret Hart's going to be in it, Shawn Michaels is going to be in it.
Because isn't there 30 people in it?
There are 30 people, 30
How are you?
participants.
I have to give people who watch wrestling like so much credit when they make predictions and they're accurate. Because I'm like, there's 30 people here. Like, I obviously know it's probably not going to be Flash Funk. No offense.
Right.
Like or Double J. Like I'm at least
yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I have no idea. Because like do I want Undertaker to win? Always, all the time. And I want him to win a clean match, bell to bell, where nobody interferes. And like, do I feel like Bret Hart kind of deserves a win? Like, yeah. But I literally don't know. I guess
we still have one more week, I think, before the actual show. So do you want to think on it and we'll come back next week?
I do want to think on it because 30 people's a lot. But I definitely want to think on it and make like a legit, accurate, right. This is my one pick prediction. Right. It will probably be wrong, but I want to do it.
Stick around. Next week, we will have Kelsey's prediction for the 1997 Royal Rumble. Nobody tell her. Nobody.
Oh my God. I swear to God, please.
Hold on. Look at me in the eyes. Nobody tell her.
Swear, please. Please don't. I'll be so upset. I will be so upset. Don't do that.
All right, guys. This has been the New to Wrestling podcast. Thank you, and we will see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.